you have a chance to go through those photos?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, move into evidence exhibit J at this time, Your Honor.
No objection. No objection.
Brianna, I'm going to show you, this is Exhibit 2. I'm going to show you page 12 of Exhibit 2. Ask if you recognize those items.
Yes, I do.
What do you recognize them to be?
On the right, that is my black JanSport backpack. And on the left, those are my brother's video game console with his controllers, game, and the actual console itself.
Okay, so were those items that were previously in your house?
Yes.
Let me show you, again, this is Exhibit 2. This is photograph number 8. You recognize the item on the right?
Yes, I do. That is Alex Zaldivar's backpack and my older brother's controllers for his black Wii and the cords for the power.
Okay, and again, were these items that were in the house at the time?
Yes, they were.
Again, Exhibit 2, this is photograph number 7. There's some items in the photographs at the bottom.
Yes,
You
those
recognize those items?
Yes, those are, 2 of those laptops are Alex's. I believe the far right, and then the top left with the SPY logo, that's my laptop, and then below that, I believe, is my older brother Remington's laptop.
Okay, and again, were those laptops, all 4 of those laptops in the house at the time?
Yes, they were.
This is photograph number 6. Again, evidence number 2, photograph number 6. You recognize the items in that photograph?
Yes, I do. Those are all of our cell phones. Mine, Will's, Brandon, and Alex's. Or actually, that's my older brother Remington's cell phone. His iPod right below it. That is my flask, sunglasses, headphones. Alex's sunglasses below the flask. And I think that's Will's cell phone on the far left. And Alex's ID, I believe, is right there.
Okay. What type of cell phone did Will have?
An iPhone.
Again, the same question. All those items, were they in the house?
Yes, they were. In pockets, actually.
I'm showing you again evidence number 1, page number 5.
This came out of my bedroom. It's an Illuma wallet that I keep all my IDs and my debits.
Okay, so the photograph at the bottom, those are some cards and identification?
Yes.
And those specifically are yours?
Yes.
Do you remember where those were?
Yes, it was. In my bedroom, I have, it's like a little dock thing that you can plug up chargers for your iPhone. It like organizes cords, and it's got like a secret compartment you can flip open. And while they dragged me to my bedroom, they made me get all my goods out of there at gunpoint, and I had to pull this out.
Now let me ask you about that. Were you in the living room the whole time that these 2 gentlemen were in the house?
Yes, I was, until roughly just before Alex got brought out and we were tied up. Bessman Okafor, the one with the slashes in the eyebrows and the scar on his chest, he picked me up off the ground and grabbed me by my arm and brought me to my bedroom because I had nothing to offer out of my pocket. So he brought me to the bedroom, and that's when he got the Illuma wallet. I have a taser in there that looks like a fake cell phone my older brother bought for me for safety purposes. A pocket knife. They got sunglasses, the headphones that you saw.
Let me ask you about that. You said Mr. Okafor, was in your bedroom?
Yes, my bedroom.
You said at the point where Alex, they already brought Alex out.
No, he was still in the back room. He was sleeping still.
So approximately how long did you been at the house at that point before they got you up?
I'd say 10 minutes.
And did you see what they were doing? Were they both in that bedroom with you?
No, just Okafor brought me while Nolan Bernard pretty much took the shift, so to speak, to hold the gun at the other remaining two, Will and Brandon, in the living room.
And what did you observe Mr. Okafor doing when you were back then?
He just held me at gunpoint while I opened up drawers for him to find stuff for him to take.
But again, did he tell you or what to say anything about what he's looking for?
No.
How long were you in that back then?
Maybe 2 minutes.
What happened after that?
He brought me back out into the living room, and my younger brother, Bernard, was now having him at gunpoint, threatening once more that he was going to pop off because my younger brother was scared for my safety trying to get to the back room to me.
What happened? Did you stay standing when he came back up?
No, he ordered me to get back down, face down on the ground.
Did you see either one or both of them with backpacks?
Just one took the backpacks after they filled it. I don't recall which one filled the bags because it was out of my view. But while I was looking over under the view of those orange chairs while I was face down, I saw the pile of them at the front door. The 2 backpacks and the duffel bag. And then Nolan Bernard was the one to exit. And I didn't even hear him leave.
Let me ask you, after you came back out from being in your bedroom with Mr. Okafor,
Mm-hmm.
then getting back down on the ground, were all 4 of you on the ground at that point?
Just me, Brandon, and William.
And at some point you said then later on the Alex was brought out.
Yes, yes.
Now when you were on the ground, were you just on the ground or did you do anything to prevent anything?
He just had me down on the ground at gunpoint, and that's when he started asking once again about the dust-in that I had no idea about. And once he started asking me about the dust-in, he ordered me at gunpoint to face him once more and unlock my cell phone for him to try and find a dust-in, I'm guessing.
Was he able to do that? Was he able to get your cell phone?
No, he was able to go to my recent calls and didn't find a dust-in. He found a Dallas, so he just assumed that was him.
I'm showing you what's been marked with exhibit. You recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What do you recognize that to be?
The directions he ordered me to write down at gunpoint to Dallas's place.
Okay, when you say he, who was it that asked you?
Bessman Okafor.
Your Honor, move that as exhibit C at this time.
All right, objection. No objection. Next. All right, it'll be next number exhibit 3.
And where were you when he asked you to write down the directions?
We were in the living room. That was a flyer that was jammed in our door. So when William and Brandon came home from school, they grabbed it out of the crack of the door and just put it on the coffee table. So when he ordered me the directions, he had me sit up once more. And again, I was able to see his face in clear view, and then said, I want you to write the directions. He didn't want to touch the paper, so he ordered me to grab it over and grab a pen and write down the directions for him because I couldn't give him an exact address.
And did you know who he was asking about when he said Dallas?
Yes, it's a buddy of mine that I recently went to go play poker.
And did you actually write down Dallas's directions?
No, well, kinda. He lives in a building that also I know has a Coe PD and detectives that live there, so that's where I sent him.
So that was the address.
Yep.
I published the jury.
How is it going to post? On video or on site? It's fine. Folks, we're going to hand something down to you to look at. Remember, this is in evidence, so it'll be in the jury room with you. The first juror, take a look at it, hand it on down. We're going to stop any testimony until it gets all the way back. Deputy, I can ask you to retrieve that, please. Please proceed.
How long did you say they were at your house total?
Between 20 and 25 minutes.
And prior to leaving, did they do anything or say anything?
Yes, they then order us to lie down and cross our hands and our feet. And that's when they started grabbing in the picture, the Xbox controllers, and they used that to tie us up.
The Xbox controllers, did they tie all four of you up at that point?
Yes, because they had Alex out, and I think that's what really ticked them off. And so they continued to tie up the rest of us. Alex was then the last one to be tied up. And I believe William was the one with like the Halloween handcuffs. So as soon as they left, he just undid himself.
Okay, so in addition to Xbox controllers, you said there was handcuffs?
Yeah, just one pair.
What were the handcuffs?
It was a Halloween costume. You just press a button and they pop open.
Okay, so they're real handcuffs?
They're playing handcuffs.
And who did they use the handcuffs on?
William?
And this is Exhibit 1. I'm showing you, again, I'll publish, this is photograph number 11. Can you see it in that photograph, what they used to tie you up?
Yes. On the left, I can see the cord still remaining on the ground.
And could you see how they got there, how they got to your house, how they left from your house?
It's funny because when we were watching the Netflix, we have the blinds open. On the opposite of the TV, you see in the picture, directly in the back of the photo, is two big windows with blinds. And the blinds were open, and you can see the reflection of the street on the TV screen because of the windows being placed there. So we noticed like a purplish blue Monte Carlo. We went by like once or twice. We're thinking they're just lost because the neighborhood's connected to another. So they could be in just the wrong part of the neighborhood.
Okay, this is before or after?
Before they even entered. And we noticed a car go by about 2 times, and then we kind of mentioned it, like, oh.
Check, 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 check.
Yo, checky, check, checkity, check, 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 check.
Oh, wait a minute. This mic is hot, so it's going hot like this over the internet. Right now it is while you're tracking. Just give me a second. Can you give me a mic check?
Check, check, check. Check, check, check. It took 3.5 days, but finally a jury was picked. This afternoon, state prosecutors took the stage to tell jurors their side. It took 3.5 days, but finally a jury was picked. This afternoon, state prosecutors took the stage to tell the jurors their side of the story. Prosecutor told the jurors that Bessman Okafor and Nolan Bernard were the people that... No. Prosecutors told the jurors Bessman Okafor and Nolan Bernard walked into a Ocoee home and stole... Prosecutors told the jurors that Bessman Okafor and Nolan Bernard walked into the Ocoee house, then stole computers and money from the people inside. The prosecutor said that the two men thought it was a grow house. Brianna Campos was inside playing video games. She said she'd never met the guys until they busted inside. During the opening statement, Okafor looked intense, while Bernard shared a few laughs with his attorneys. Neither man seemed too fazed by the prosecutor's words. Bernard's attorney said it was Okafor who was inside that house, but Okafor's attorney said no, he was at his sister's home far away from this one in Ocoee. He said this was a case of cops taking in the wrong man. I'm attracted to Sioux. Got a kink in my neck. Kink in my neck. Brianna Campos was strong and confident, remembering the details of a home invasion more than a year ago. She said there was no doubt it was Bessman Okafor and Nolan Bernard who came into her home with guns and took her money and computers. All the while, she told the court, Alex Salvador was sleeping. He had no idea, she said, what was going on until the men were ready to walk out. Months later, Salvador was killed the day before he was to testify. Campos and her brother were also shot, but then survived. That package is only like a minute. They've got too much.
The police officers, because Will was telling them, hey, I've got a Find My iPhone app, we can just track it. They kept worrying, oh, we need the description, write it down. I sent them, of course, to the address that I wrote down because my friend Dallas lives in the building, and hopefully they could catch the car I described driving into that neighborhood down the road. And so they did that, and finally an officer said, hey, I have an iPhone. It was Officer Brown, I believe. He said, I have an iPhone. Gave it to Will. He typed in all his info, and then boom, it's like a red pin dropped right on an address.
Now, at some point after that, do you remember the police asking you or taking you to a different location?
Yeah, after we were waiting, when they went to the house, they went to the address, and they surrounded it, pretty much waiting for the warrant to go inside. And they mentioned that they seen individuals come outside with the backpack, and that's when one of them. That's when.
Let me ask this. How long was it between the time that you reported and the time that you were taken to a different location to look at some individuals?
20, 30 minutes.
And do you remember the location, generally where it was?
It wasn't too far from the neighborhood that I guess they captured them at. We met up at a church down the road to be separated from everything, and there were separate police cars for each of us individually to get into.
Now let me ask you about that. Were you taken individually, or were you all taken as a group to that location?
Individually, 2 at a time, in unmarked cars.
Now, when you went to that location, were you asked to look at either one or two individuals?
We had to look at each one separately. We were told when we pulled into the neighborhood that they found people and they didn't know it could or could not be them, just to describe and try and recognize any facial features to the best of our ability. Because again, they didn't know if it was them or not.
They weren't told specifically these individuals.
No, they just said these are individuals that we found that fit closely to your description.
And did you recognize, let's start with the first individual.
Yes, the first individual I shown was the one with the slash in the eyebrows and then the scar. While I was in the back seat being recorded, I told Detective Barish that's how I knew 100% it was him.
And how long did you have to look at this person before you recognized him?
2 seconds. He was still wearing the same exact clothing.
And you see that individual? Would you recognize that individual you saw?
Yes, I would.
You see that individual?
Yes, I do.
Can you point him out and describe where he's sitting?
He's sitting at the desk on the very far right with his head face down.
Your Honor, the record reflects you identified each other.
Record will so reflect.
And was anyone with you? Was either Brandon or Will or anybody with you when you identified?
No, like I said, we were in a car by ourselves.
And then were you asked to look at another individual?
Yes, they brought Okafor back up, and then they brought out another individual, Mr. Nolan Bernard with the cornrows.
And did you recognize that second individual?
Yes, I did.
And how do you recognize him?
His cornrows, goatee, his height, and he was skinnier than Bessman, and he was still wearing the same long blue T-shirt he wore.
And how long did it take before you recognized him?
Again, a couple of seconds. As soon as he was close enough for me to see him,
And would you recognize that person again if you saw that individual?
yes, I would.
Can you point him out and describe him by what he's wearing?
The individual on the left next to the lady in the yellow, with the goatee going down the sideburn.
The Honor, may the record reflects you identified Mr. Bernard.
Record will so reflect.
May I have one moment here?
Yes, sir.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Folks, when you go back to the jury room, please leave your pen unchared. We do not discuss the case on the shelves. We do not have a research, a cell phone, computer tablets, or any other matter. We will see you in about 10 minutes. Jury exit.
Yeah, she's good. I kind of wish she didn't say all that stuff about how they knew that they had arrested somebody at that point, but I don't think it's a big deal.
I mean, she made it pretty clear that they said that it could be him.
It could be anybody. Obviously, she knew
The
because they
acoustics are bad. I don't know if you realize that. I mean, it's just, like, I guess it's easier for the jury, but it's just, it's hard for me to hear some of this stuff.
Yeah. I think they can hear because they got the.
I mean, they're closer, but
Yeah, she's good. Oh, the keys. I didn't ask her about that. The keys beforehand, so we might want to recall her for that. If we can talk to her about it. I just didn't want to ask her on the stand because I hadn't talked to her before about it.
yeah, hey, I'm great.
This is everything that's in the box. The same figure is the wallet and